Good morning, my dear friends. Have you ever opened your eyes, still lying in bed, and wondered what you're really here for? I have. I'm Catholic. Yet there are moments when doubts whisper and faith feels thin, and I imagine that may sadden the Lord. Maybe you've been there too. Today, you and I meet here to bring that ache to God. We will offer a simple morning prayer, renew our trust, and ask for strength and clear sight to believe this truth. The one we are searching for is Jesus. Before we begin, if this prayer blesses you, please subscribe, like, and tap the bell so we can meet again tomorrow and lift our hearts to God together. Now, take a gentle breath, settle your thoughts, and let your heart say Amen as we begin. Let this be your simple prayer. In the quiet of this morning, name the ache that has followed you, the question behind 100 smaller questions, and let it rest in the presence that is here. You have been searching for meaning, for steadiness, for a light that does not burn out, and that search narrows now to a single name. Jesus is not an idea to admire, but a person to trust. He is the way when paths fracture, the truth when voices compete, the life when your strength runs thin. John 14:6. Speak from where you are, not where you think you should be. Tell him the truth of your heart, and let him tell you the truth of his. You can begin by placing your restless heart before him. Whisper what only you and God know. The fear of choosing wrong, the fatigue of carrying too much, the sting of yesterday's words. Do not dress it up. He does not need a polished version of you. In this moment, yield the need to fix everything alone. Yield the script you keep rehearsing for how life must go. Yield the secret timelines you hoped to meet. As you yield, notice how the room inside your soul widens. Into that space, invite his light. Let it touch the places you've hidden, the worry about provision, the unnamed grief, the memory you avoid. His light does not expose to shame, it reveals to heal. Now turn to the mind that never stops. Offer your questions, not for instant answers, but for companionship on the way. Ask for clarity the way a thirsty field asks for rain, honestly, openly, expectantly. Ask, seek, knock. He has said, not as a riddle, but as a rhythm for living. Matthew 7:7-8. In this rhythm, your thinking steadies. Decisions that felt tangled begin to separate into threads. You sense which doors are merely loud and which are truly open. Clarity is not a spotlight that blinds. It is a lamp for the next faithful step. Bring your story to him, the past that shaped you and the future that calls you. What was lost is not your name. What is unknown is not a threat when you are known. Place yesterday into his mercy and tomorrow into his wisdom. Let him author both. If regret rises, let it rise only to be surrendered. If anxiety surges, let it surge only to be stilled. His hands hold time. They can hold your timeline too. Breathe the simplest confession. Jesus, you are what I've been looking for. Let that line become the spine that holds this day upright. Think of the people you love. Set each one in his care without controlling the outcome. Bless them with the blessing you yourself crave. Peace that anchors, guidance that is gentle, protection seen and unseen. Think of your work, paid or unpaid, visible or hidden, and offer it as worship. Ask that your effort be shaped by love rather than hurry, by excellence rather than perfectionism, by service rather than self-importance. Where doors must close, accept his no as kindness. Where doors must open, receive his yes with courage. Where you must wait, find him waiting with you. Let your body be included in this prayer. Ask for strength where you are weak and rest where you are overextended. For every sharp edge of stress, ask for a softening. For every tight knot of worry, ask for an untying. For the places in you that feel numb, ask for holy warmth. For the places that never stop burning, ask for a cooling. Nothing human is outside his compassion. He wore a body and knows how it feels to be tired, hungry, pressed, and yet at peace. Name the temptations that tug at you, the quick escape, the quiet compromise, the harsh voice you use on yourself. Do not argue with them, hand them over. Ask for the grace to choose the narrow path that leads to life, not because you fear punishment, but because you love the one who walks that path with you. Mercy is not a theory, it is a hand extended. When you slip, take it. When you fall, let him lift you. When you are confused, let him guide you. You are not a project to be managed. You are a beloved soul to be led. Now ask for listening ears. Clarity often arrives as a whisper in the ordinary, a sentence that stands out, a face you cannot ignore, a quiet nudge to do the next small faithful thing. Pray for a heart that recognizes that whisper and answers, "Here I am." Pray for a will that is not stiff but surrendered, not passive but responsive, not scattered but gathered in him. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. Jeremiah 29:13. Let this seeking not be frantic but focused, not panicked but patient. The one you seek is already seeking you. Make a few simple declarations and let them shape the hours ahead. Today, Jesus is the center, and I am at peace. Today, I walk by light and not by fear. Today, I choose obedience over impulse, blessing over bitterness, truth over noise, presence over performance. Today, I remember that I am held. Hold these lines not as pressure, but as promises to return to when the day grows loud. If a decision faces you, place it between his hands and ask for alignment, your desire braided with his desire, until they pull in the same direction. If a wound still bleeds, invite him closer than the hurt. If a door has closed, trust that his goodness is not smaller than your disappointment. If a new beginning beckons, step with him, not ahead of him. The pace of grace is unhurried and sure. And as this prayer moves into the rest of your morning, carry one steady truth. The search narrows to Jesus, and in him the scattered pieces gather. You are seen without being shamed, guided without being rushed, corrected without being crushed, loved without condition or expiration. Let your final words in this moment be both confession and comfort. Jesus, you are what I've been looking for. Lead me, and I will follow. Stay here a little longer. Let this moment be a small chapel inside your day, a quiet corner where you remember who you are and whose you are. You do not have to earn your place in God's presence. You are already welcomed. When your thoughts start to race, picture your worries set down one by one, like heavy bags placed by the door. You can pick them up later if you must, but for now, leave them there. In this gentler space, you can see more clearly that the longing inside you has a shape, and that shape fits the heart of Jesus. As you move through your morning, bring your real life into this prayer. Bring the unread messages and the long list, the small annoyances and the big decisions, the people who need you and the moments you feel you have nothing left to give. Nothing is too ordinary to be offered. When you wash your face, ask for a clean mind. When you make your coffee or tea, ask for a steady spirit. When you open the door, ask for a wise step. Let the simple things become signals that turn you toward Him again and again. This is how the day is woven with grace, thread by thread. Think about the places where you feel pulled in two directions. Maybe you want to be kind, but you're tired. You want to be brave, but old fears speak loudly. You want to be focused, but noise keeps finding you. Lay these tensions before God. You don't have to solve them to surrender them. Ask for the inner alignment that makes your outside life simpler. When your values and your choices point the same way, peace follows. You become less divided inside and more yourself. Let your heart speak honestly about relationships. If there's someone you love and you don't know how to help, set that person in God's hands and refuse to carry what isn't yours. If there's someone who has hurt you, ask for a heart that is protected and yet not closed. If there's someone you struggle to forgive, name the wound and ask for the grace to start small. Maybe today you just stop rehearsing the argument in your head. Mercy is a practice, and you are learning it in real time. Trust that God can hold both justice and tenderness without losing either, and that He is patient with the pace of your healing. Bring your work into the light. Some days it feels meaningful. Some days it feels like a grind. Offer the whole thing as worship, not just the parts that look impressive. Ask that your effort be marked by love more than hurry, by presence more than performance. If you're facing a door that stays shut, ask for the wisdom to tell the difference between not yet and not for you. If a door opens, step through it with a clean motive. If waiting is required, let waiting be a place where faith grows roots, instead of a room where resentment grows weeds. The Spirit can teach you how to work with an untroubled core, even when deadlines press. Consider your body with kindness. It does 1,000 things for you without applause. If you are sick, ask for relief and for companions who understand. If you are strong today, thank God and spend that strength well. If your sleep has been thin, ask for the kind of rest that settles deeper than ours. Let your senses become part of your prayer. The warmth of a mug in your hands, the morning light on the floor, the sound of a familiar street. These small gifts are not the point, but they point you to the giver. Turn to your past without getting trapped there. Some memories still ache. Some choices still embarrass you. You can tell the truth without letting that truth define you. Place those memories in God's mercy and trust that mercy to be stronger than shame. Then, look toward your future without trying to control it. Make your plans and hold them lightly. Ask for a will that is flexible in His hands, a heart that can pivot when He redirects, feet that don't drag when He says go and don't rush when He says stay. Obedience can be simple when love is first. Let a few short lines guide your day like signposts. I am loved, so I can be calm. I am led, so I can be brave. I am forgiven, so I can be free. I am sent, so I can be generous. Keep these close. When the day gets loud, return to them. When you forget, begin again. God does not keep score against you. He keeps company with you. You are allowed to start over at 10 in the morning, at 3 in the afternoon, at night when you feel spent. Grace is not a rare guest. It's a steady friend. If you must make a choice soon, set it between God's hands in your imagination. Ask for a quiet inside that matches His peace. Pay attention to what strengthens love and what shrinks it. Pay attention to what brings honesty and what clouds it. Clarity grows where truth and love meet. When you sense the next faithful step, take it without drama. Not every good thing needs a spotlight. Many holy things grow in quiet. Hold your community in view, your family, your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, the person you will see only once today but still matters. Ask for eyes that notice, a voice that blesses, and hands that help. Ask to be the kind of presence that lowers the temperature in the room and raises the hope. If you make a mistake, repair it quickly. If someone else stumbles, build a small bridge. Kindness is not weakness. It is strength under control. Now bring your whole self back to the center. You are not a bundle of problems to fix. You are a person loved by God. The search that kept you restless settles here. Jesus is what you're looking for. In Him, your questions find a home, your work finds a purpose, your pain finds a healer, your joy finds its source. Let that truth sit in your chest like a steady drumbeat. When fear speaks, let the drumbeat be louder. When shame returns, let the drumbeat remind you who you are. When confusion rises, let the drumbeat point you to the next step, not the whole path. As you step into the hours ahead, carry a simple willingness to listen, to trust, to respond. You don't need to predict the ending of today. You need only to walk with the one who knows it. If something beautiful happens, give thanks quickly. If something hard happens, turn quickly toward Him. If nothing special seems to happen, know that faithfulness in the ordinary is never wasted. Holiness often looks like showing up with love where you are. So go with a quiet confidence. The center holds. You are not alone in the search. You are accompanied by the one who is the answer. Let your heart keep repeating it in its own words as the day unfolds. Jesus, you are what I've been looking for. Lead, and I will follow. Let the rest of this prayer settle into your ordinary day. Picture the path in front of you, not the next month, just the next few steps, and ask for a steady hand to guide you along it. Trust does not mean having no questions. It means choosing where to lean when questions come. Lean toward the one who knows you fully and loves you completely. When your mind starts to jump ahead, bring it back to the present moment, because this is where grace is given. This is where clarity grows. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not rely on your own insight. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. Let your words be simple today. Yes where yes is right. No where no is needed. Help me when you feel small. Thank you when goodness shows up. I'm sorry when you miss the mark. These are not small words. They are doorways. They keep your heart clear and your steps light. When you feel the pull to compare your life to someone else's, remember that comparison blurs vision. Your clarity returns when you look at Jesus, not at the scoreboard. When you feel the urge to perform, remember that you are already loved. Love is the place you start from, not the prize you earn at the end. Notice how guidance often arrives quietly. A verse that lingers, a wise sentence from a friend, a sense of peace around one option, and a heaviness around another. Pay attention to peace. It is often the green light of the soul. Pay attention to heaviness. It may be a warning to pause. Clarity rarely shouts. It is more like a lamp that shows enough light for the next step. Psalm 119:105. Walk by that light and refuse to rush the rest. Rushing breeds mistakes. Attention breeds wisdom. Keep an eye on the story you tell yourself. If the inner voice turns harsh, replace it with truth spoken gently. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. Where shame says, "You'll never change," grace says, "You're learning." Where fear says, you're alone. Truth says, you are accompanied. Where pressure says, do everything now, wisdom says, do the next faithful thing. Keep the next faithful thing small and do it with a whole heart. Let gratitude tutor your sight, not to deny pain, but to stop pain from defining the whole picture. Name what is good. The person who texts to check in, the strength to finish a task, the chance to begin again at midday, the quiet that finds you for a minute in a noisy place. Gratitude is not decoration. It is medicine for a worried mind. As you notice gifts, you will notice the giver. That noticing reorders your day from the inside out. If conflict visits you, stay gentle and clear. Speak truth without sharp edges. Listen for what is underneath the words: fear, fatigue, longing to be seen. Choose to bless instead of escalate. You are never foolish for choosing peace when it depends on you. If a boundary must be set, set it with calm strength. Love can say yes, and love can say no. Let both be guided by what builds life, not by impulse or approval seeking. When you meet uncertainty, do not demand a map. Ask for companionship. Ask for alignment, your desires braided with God's heart so that choosing becomes simpler. If two good paths lie ahead, choose one with humility and begin. God knows how to shepherd a willing soul. If you realize later it wasn't the best road, you will not be mocked, you will be redirected. That is what a shepherd does. He leads, he corrects, he restores. Remember to include rest in your obedience. Rest is not wasted time. It is trust in practice. Let your pauses be small altars in the day, a quiet breath before a meeting, a moment of stillness before answering, a short walk without your phone. These pauses remind you that you are not holding the world up by yourself. They make space for God to pour peace back into your chest, so you can keep going with a softer spirit. Carry this single, shaping conviction. The search that kept you restless finds its home in Jesus. In Him, direction is not guesswork. It becomes companionship. In Him, clarity is not control. It becomes trust. In Him, following is not heavy. It becomes love in motion. So move into the hours ahead with a grounded heart. Let your choices be small acts of faith, your words small seeds of hope, your presence a quiet sign of God's kindness in the places you stand. And when the day tilts or the light fades or questions return, come back to this center again. Jesus is what you're looking for, and He knows the way. Let what you've prayed sink into how you live today. When interruptions come, and they will treat them as gentle taps on the shoulder rather than enemies of your plan. You don't need to win the day to be faithful. You need to be present to the one who is with you in the day. If a delay frustrates you, turn it into a moment of trust. If someone needs your attention while you are busy, give what you can without resentment and let love decide the pace. Peace grows not in perfect conditions but in a willing heart. Let humility be the doorway to wisdom. You don't have to know everything to take the next honest step. Admit when you don't know and ask for help. God meets you in the truth. Pride complicates. Humility clears the air. When you speak, choose words that build rather than impress. When you listen, listen with your face and not only your ears. The person in front of you is not a task. They are a soul God loves. Your gentleness may be the clearest sermon they hear all day. Bring your hopes into the light without clutching them. Name what you desire: healing in a relationship, direction for work, steady finances, a home of peace, a mind that rests, and place these desires in God's hands. Then, live like someone who has placed them there. Do what is yours to do with a calm spirit, and refuse the anxious grasping that steals your joy. Doors open more easily when your shoulders are not tight. Your confidence is not in your timing, but in God's goodness. If you carry regret, don't let it freeze your future. Own what is yours, make repairs where you can, and then accept mercy like dry ground accepts rain. Mercy is not soft on truth. It is strong enough to hold truth and still move you forward. If shame tries to write the story of your day, answer it with what you now know. You are forgiven. You are guided. You are not alone. Walk with your head level and your heart light. Let forgiveness be your daily practice. Start small, if you must. Choose not to replay the worst parts of yesterday on repeat. Bless the ones who made mistakes, including yourself. Forgiveness does not mean pretending wrong is right. It means refusing to let bitterness become your crease identity. When anger rises, let it signal a conversation with God rather than a contract with resentment. The energy you save by releasing offense becomes strength for what is good. Keep your attention on what bears fruit. Some efforts spark noise but no growth. Others look quiet but feed many. Choose the quiet fruit. Show up for your work with integrity, even when no one sees. Honor your body with simple care, even when results are slow. Invest in relationships with small, steady acts, even when the return is not immediate. Good roots run deep before they run wide. Trust the slow work of grace. Invite joy into small places. Notice the first light on the wall, the taste of your breakfast, the kindness of a stranger holding a door, the laugh you didn't expect. Joy doesn't cancel grief. It keeps grief from owning the whole room. Let joy remind you that God's presence is not rare. Gratitude will sharpen your vision so you can find God in ordinary corners, not only in grand scenes. The more you notice, the more you will notice. When your mind grows foggy, simplify. Ask, what is the faithful thing right now? It might be finishing an email with care. It might be stepping away for 5 minutes to reset. It might be telling the truth, gently, in a meeting. It might be choosing silence when words would only add heat. Clarity often lives inside the small faithful choice. Make that choice and let the next one meet you when it's time. Keep your heart open to correction without collapsing under it. If someone offers feedback, sift it with God and keep what helps you grow. You are not defined by your best day or your worst day. You are defined by the one who knows you and calls you beloved. From that place, growth becomes lighter. You can learn without fear. You can try again without shame. You can be bold without pretending to be perfect. Anchor your sense of worth before the world begins to measure you. Metrics have their place, but they are not your identity. Applause will feel good, and criticism will sting, but neither has the right to name you. Let God's voice be the one that settles the question in your chest. You are seen. You are wanted. You are assigned to this day on purpose. Work from that blessing, not for it. Let your home, whatever it looks like, become a small sanctuary. Speak blessing over the rooms. Ask for peace to guard conversations. Ask for laughter that heals and honesty that doesn't harm. Where there is tension, replace sarcasm with clarity. Where there is silence that hides fear, replace it with patient questions. Where there is weariness, make space for rest. The presence of God is not allergic to chaos. It brings order one kind act at a time. Carry your responsibilities with open hands. Do your best and entrust the outcome. If you are a parent, love steadily and apologize quickly. If you are a student, be curious and diligent. If you lead, serve first. If you follow, support with strength. Whatever your role, ask to reflect the character of Jesus in posture and tone as much as in decision. People often remember how they felt around you more than what you said. Let them feel safe, lifted, and valued. Remember the poor, the lonely, the overlooked. Generosity is not only money, it is attention, time, hospitality, advocacy. Give what you can without announcing it. Let kindness be quiet, consistent, and creative. When you cannot fix, you can still accompany. When you cannot carry, you can still pray. Your small yes, offered in love, becomes part of a larger story God is telling in the world. Guard your inner life. What you take in shapes what you pour out. Choose words, images, and music that strengthen your soul. Step away from voices that feed envy or cynicism. You are free to curate your inputs. When you care for your attention, you protect your joy. When you protect your joy, your presence becomes a gift to others. When the afternoon dip arrives, do not interpret it as failure. Bodies tire, minds wander. Return to center. Re-choose trust. Whisper a short prayer and keep going with a softer grip. One faithful hour at a time builds a faithful day. A faithful day repeated becomes a faithful life. This is how following Jesus looks for most of us, not dramatic, but steady, not loud, but real. As evening approaches, release what you could not finish. Say thank you for what you were given grace to do. Hand to God the pieces that feel incomplete. Bless the people you interacted with, even the difficult ones. Ask for peaceful sleep and a clear start tomorrow. Let the day end in the same place it began, in trust. Hold this clear center as you move forward. The ache that drove you searching has an answer, and that answer is a person. In His presence, you are not required to perform, only to be honest and available. In His guidance, you do not walk alone. You walk in step with a love that will not fail you. Keep this sentence somewhere close to your breath, and let it carry you through the turning of the hours. Jesus is what you're looking for. Keep your eyes on Him and take the next true step. Let this final stretch of prayer shape how you end, begin, and move through every hour that follows. Think of your life as a road that winds through sunlight and shadow. You don't control the turns, but you can choose your pace and your posture. Choose a pace that honors love over hurry. Choose a posture that stays open, teachable, and steady. When the day surprises you, let faith be your anchor rather than your alarm. You don't have to predict everything to be prepared. You prepare by staying close to the one who knows the way. Hold close what you've discovered here. The hunger inside you is not a flaw to hide, but a compass pointing you to Jesus. When you try to fill it with noise, it stays hungry. When you set it before God, it becomes a doorway. Keep walking through that doorway every time you feel restless, empty, or unsure. Turn the ordinary into a signal every time you wash your hands. Remember the clean start you've been given. Every time you step outside, remember you're not stepping out alone. Every time you sit back down to work, remember your effort can be worship when it's offered in trust. Let courage be simple today. Courage is not fireworks. It's doing the next right thing without making a speech about it. It's answering a message with kindness, finishing a task with care, telling the truth in a calm voice, apologizing quickly when you miss the mark, and choosing to bless yourself with the same patience you'd offer a friend. When fear tries to speed you up or slow you down, bring your pace back to a human rhythm. The shepherd you follow is not frantic. His guidance carries a quiet confidence. You can borrow that calm, guard the space inside you where peace lives. You protect it by what you say yes to and what you decline. Not every invitation is assignment. Not every argument needs your attendance. Not every opinion needs a reply. Save your energy for what grows life. Give your attention to what bears fruit, faithfulness in small things, generosity that doesn't keep score, compassion that notices the person at the edge of the room. Your clarity sharpens when your priorities are honest. Keep forgiveness within reach. You will need it, and so will the people around you. When frustration rises, step back long enough to remember the bigger story. You are learning, they are learning, and love keeps making room. Forgiveness does not erase boundaries. It keeps bitterness from building walls that block grace. When you cannot fix the situation, you can still decide who you will be inside it. Someone grounded, gentle, and guided. Treat your body as an ally in this prayer. Feed it, move it, rest it, and let those choices become a quiet yes to God. Wear clothes that let you breathe. Drink water as if peace could dissolve in it and find its way into your chest. Open a window, let light in. Small care is not small. It signals that you respect the life you've been given, and respect is a door that wisdom often walks through. If a crossroads waits for you, you don't need an instant blueprint. You need alignment. Ask for a heart that wants what God wants, and watch how decisions simplify when desire and direction stop pulling in different directions. If two options both seem good, choose one with humility and begin. A willing soul is easy to lead, and if you later sense a nudge to pivot, don't call it failure, call it guidance. People who walk with God do not get lost for long. Let home be a place where peace is practiced, not just wished for. Speak blessing over the day's first hello and the night's last good night. Replace sarcasm with clarity. Trade silent resentment for honest conversation. Share tasks without keeping score. Laugh when laughter offers itself. Sit in quiet when quiet is what heals. The presence of God is not reserved for perfect houses. It rests gladly in imperfect rooms where love is learning to be faithful. Carry your work like a gift you're entrusted with, rather than a weight that defines you. Excellence without panic, diligence without self-punishment, service without self-erasing. These are signs that your soul is learning the unforced rhythms of grace. When recognition comes, be grateful and keep your feet on the ground. When it does not, be faithful and keep your eyes on the one who sees in secret. The work done with love is never wasted, even when no one claps. Keep watch for the small breadcrumbs of guidance scattered through the day. A sentence that sticks. A sense of permission to stop. A quiet conviction to start. A face you cannot ignore. A peace that lingers around one choice and not another. Follow those gentle leads. Clarity is often a soft light on the next step, rather than a floodlight on the whole path. Walk by that soft light and resist the urge to rush the rest. Let your identity settle where it belongs. You are not the sum of metrics, mistakes, or moods. You are a person loved by God, led by Jesus, and accompanied by the Spirit in the details. From that center, you can be both bold and kind, both honest and hopeful, both strong and tender. You can hold tension without breaking and carry sorrow without losing your song. You can be present to the person in front of you because you are not busy proving your worth. As the day stretches out, Return to a few short lines when you need to reset. I am loved, so I can be calm. I am led, so I can take the next step. I am forgiven, so I can begin again. I am sent, so I can bring peace. Let these sentences become like breath, steady, quiet, and reliable. When noise swells, use them to find the shore again. And if tonight arrives with loose ends, you can still rest. The same God who met you in the morning will watch over what you cannot finish. Offer your efforts back to Him. Bless the people you crossed paths with, and release the outcomes you cannot control. Tomorrow will have its own grace. You will not face it empty-handed. Carry this closing truth like a key in your pocket. The search that kept you wandering finds its answer in Jesus. In Him, your questions are held, your steps are guided, your wounds are tended, your calling is clarified. You don't have to make your life shine. You have to follow the one who is light. So walk into the hours ahead with a grounded heart and a willing spirit. Let your choices become small echoes of trust. Let your presence become a quiet sign of hope. And let this confession settle everything that still feels unsettled. Jesus is what you're looking for. Keep your eyes on Him and take the next true step. Amen. Thank you for praying with me today. If this blessed you, please subscribe, like, and tap the bell so you won't miss the next prayer. See you tomorrow. May God guide and keep you through the day.